get answers was relieved by that action, and I commend the mayor for that. I also commend Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz, who has been amazing, supportive like you can't believe. Like I've said all along, we don't have a resource problem. We've only had a luck problem. But our luck has, at least with respect to the weather and the fires, has seemed to turn. Now we just need a few more miracles each day, and we need to start pulling people out of that rubble and reuniting them with the families. And I'm excited, and I'm expectant, and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And now Miami-Dade Commissioner and Vice Chairman Oliver Gilbert.
I would just add that today we, the mayor, myself, Commissioner Garcia, Representative Bush, we had a chance to actually meet over on the beach with a group of clergy, just to hold hands and pray. And it was interesting because one of the prayers was the minister. He started off and he said, God doesn't have a gender or race or color. He doesn't know cities or counties or countries. God is love. We can petition God together right now in this place. It was moving because it reminded me that, you know, a lot of times we look at things and we define ourselves by differences. But when tragedy confronts us, we're best defined by how we come together. And so that's what you see right now. You see us how we come together. How we actually figure it out, how we have a federal government that's going to support the state government, the state's going to support the locals, and we have a county mayor and a city mayor and a county commission all trying to figure it out for some families and for a community. When we talk about our first responders and we tell you they're the best in the world, we all knew they were the best in the world. We weren't confused by that. And part of that is they don't see themselves as having jobs. They don't have jobs. They have duty. And so when I'm taking the tour with the fire chief, and he's telling me what they're doing and the peril that their life is in, and what they're doing because they want to give anyone who has an opportunity to be alive, they want them to be alive. That's not a job. It's not a job responsibility. It's a calling and it's a duty. And that's what they're doing, that's what we're doing. And so I appreciate the hard work of everyone here because I understand that a lot of this, when we look back on it, everyone will second guess everything. But the men and women who are out there in that pile right now placing themselves at risk, they're doing it as a matter of duty. They're doing it for families who need to be reunited or who need closure. And they're doing it. So I appreciate them and thank you all.
Thank you, Vice Chairman, for those beautiful words. And from the Miami-Dade Police Department, Chief Ed Caniva, which will be addressing traffic.
Hello, everyone. So we're well aware of the traffic concerns in the area. Our traffic plan has been posted in social media and has been shared with our public safety partners, and specifically those public safety partners within zip code 33154. Currently, what is closed is from 8th Street to 96th Street, Collins Avenue, and Harding Avenue. We are reassessing traffic on a daily basis, and let me rest assured to the citizens of zip code 33154 that you are being allowed access to your residences and your businesses. So that's not going to be an issue. Our ultimate goal is to reassess and open Harding Avenue as quickly as possible. In Spanish, el plan de tráfico del Departamento de la Policía fue compartido, está puesto en social media y también está compartido con los departamentos de la policía del área code específicamente 33154, que queremos asegurarle a los residentes que viven en ese zip code que le estamos dando acceso a sus casas y sus negocios. Estamos evaluando el tráfico constantemente y el goal de nosotros es abrir Harding lo más pronto posible. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Chief. And we're going to be opening it up for questions now. Please raise your hand and go ahead, sir. Right here, please address the person.
Kevin Hesbeck, WSBA. For Mayor Birkin, can you confirm some reporting, and this is coming from an owner in the South Tower, also citing condo board meeting minutes, that a town official did tell them shortly after that 28 building was safe. Are you aware of that? Can you confirm that?
I wasn't there, you know. I was there before, and I came after, but I wasn't there for that. But I'll tell you what we are doing. I've asked our clerk and our city attorney and our city manager to dig out every piece of correspondence related to that building and put it on our website. So that's happening right now, and we're just going to put it out there, let you all see it, and it's going to be what it's going to be.
Have you found anything? Can you tell us anything? about what
Well,
you found in those
listen,
documents?
I've been out here with the families. I've been out here. I haven't even seen what's been reported. I haven't read any news. I've just been out here supporting the families, and so no, I haven't seen it. But I understand there is some stuff on the website. I was handed a hard copy of the 2018 report, which I did review in my car when I was taking a soda break. But beyond that, I haven't seen much.
I understand there's a lot going on with the search and rescue going on here, but what is happening right now within the building department of Surfside? How are they handling this?
Well, listen, we have a new building official that's pretty aggressive, and we have a city manager who's also pretty aggressive. And I was pleased to hear. I met today. I had a private meeting with the building inspector or engineer that they had hired to advise the town. Now, this gentleman is the same engineer who was advising when the Pentagon was hit by the airplanes on 9/11. He's the same engineer who was recruited to work on the FIU bridge issue. So he's eminently qualified, and I'm looking forward to working with him and getting to the bottom of that. But all that information will be put out on that website, and I hope I'll get a chance to read it
One
soon.
last follow-up question here. You know, the county has its own germ, right? But for all building issues here within Surfside, it would go through the town's building department. One of the town's commissioners told me, she goes, this is bigger than Surfside. We don't have the manpower to investigate that. I would say that for some that begs the question, was this building department, did it have all the brain power, all the manpower needed to secure all the buildings in this town?
Well, that's a good question, and I think a fair question. And I would say that they've been doing buildings here for 50 years, 60 years. And this is the first problem that we've had, and it's a bad problem, and something went very, very wrong here. And we're going to get to the bottom of it, but as far as I'm concerned, job one is to get those folks out of that pile of rubble and reunite them with their family. But I can assure you that will be job number 3, because job one is get them out, job 2 is support the family, job 3 is find out why it happened.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm
I wanted
sorry.
to clarify, I really agree with what was said here.
I-
Earlier, you were speaking to the residents of the North and East Tower, asking if they wanted to voluntarily evacuate, and that we would have the resources available to be able to do that. Are they also entitled to ask for FEMA assistance?
They're not. They kind of fall into this sort of gap between, had the building been condemned, they would have been qualified, but the building was not condemned, and we agreed that the best way forward was to give them the option because, quite frankly, there are people that are afraid. It's the same building, the same plans, the same floor plan, the same developer, the same almost everything as far as I can see. And quite frankly, if you ask me if I wanted to spend the night in that building, I wouldn't be willing to do that until we went through it. Now, having said that, we did go through that building yesterday with our building official and the gentleman that I just described. And in so many words, I was told at the end of the day that nothing really significant jumped out at them. But, the big but, they said that, that's just a cursory review. And on Tuesday, the owners of that building are bringing in an engineering firm to do a top-to-bottom forensic sort of study on that, and they're going to use the X-rays and the ground-penetrating radar, and I think we're going to have some good answers. But in the meantime, the folks that don't want to be there, given what Mayor Cava said about the $1,200,000, we had a donor today. I was at a press conference with Mayor Suarez, and this donor specifically earmarked that money for relocation expenses. So that's perfect for what this is, and we're going to, the intention is to use those funds for those people that aren't comfortable staying in the building during the time it's being inspected. Now, we've already had 2 people that went to the Marriott and said, hey, I'm here, I'd like to check in. Yeah, so I've got to get going on that, and we've got to work out the logistics of that issue.
Mayor, let me follow up question on the trench. Do you know if work is continuing? Is work is continuing on that trench, or was that trench solely built to be able to help the search and rescue teams put out those fires and give them access? Are we still actively working on that trench?
Yes, we have our fire chief here, but yes, they are actively working on the trench, and it actually was extremely helpful for the location of bodies.
Do you want to address where we are with that trench and what is the end game of the trench and how deep will it go?
Yes, well, the primary goal with the trench was to assist us in suppression of smoldering fire activities and smoke as well, preventing any spread. By creating that trench, it's also given us opportunities to look for different areas in regards to access points to search from. And now continue, and as we continue with our process of delayer in different areas, and same thing where that area occurred with the trench itself, we'll delayer from there and continue on.
Chief, how do you make sure that trench is secure for all your firefighters who are working inside of it?
Again, that's another huge concern, obstacle as we're going through. So we have several engineers that are embedded with our task force teams that are out there, our rescue teams, and so they modify. So based on what they see, based on measurements, they kind of guide us in the sense of, stability, a yes or a no in the sense of where we're looking.
What about the respiratory?
Chief, real quick, I'm sorry. Waiting. Is there any way that you can give us a perspective of how much debris so far has been removed? The governor talked about the warehouse. Have you started that? In other words, is something like that? We're trying to get a better sense of how much you've gotten to.
Definitely monitored. Unfortunately, I don't have the exact numbers, but definitely, we're moving the debris field, to the rear, or I guess I could say east from where we've been working. So I mean, definitely, we're transferring a lot, but I don't have the exact amount of
Any
work.
of the grids that you've sent out that you're confident are good, they've been looked at, they're not going to go back to that area?
No. The rescue grids are defined, and that's just the process how we search, and we'll continue searching as far down. So no grid. Can I get? I'm sorry. The last question here.
Yes, Ana Cuervo with Telemundo for the mayor. We've received calls from hotels offering free rooms for the displaced families, from funeral directors offering free funeral services for the fatal victims. How much of that type of thing is FEMA going to take care of, and how quickly will the victims learn of this? How quickly can that happen? En español, por favor.
Bueno, estamos con fondos de FEMA para los que califican y, por ejemplo, extranjeros, gente que no son americanos, no pueden calificar. Entonces, fondos pueden ayudar a los demás y también es muy importante estos tipos este tipo de ayuda de las funerarias, de la vivienda. Y estamos con alguien que está coordinando todos los voluntarios y todas las donaciones y ellos pueden llamar a los números que hemos dado para comunicar lo que quieren donar. Gracias.
Porque FEMA demora, ¿verdad?
No solamente es que demora, es que posiblemente no va a calificar. Sí, demora. En Red Cross también tiene cuartos donde pueden quedar gente. Okay.
Alcaldesa, como jefa de gobierno en el condado, ¿usted podría considerar la evacuación obligatoria de la Torre Norte? Es una pregunta que tienen muchos residentes que todavía están viviendo en la Torre Norte y acabando de escuchar al alcalde de Surfside. ¿Usted como cabeza del condado Miami-Dade podría ordenar una evacuación obligada en la Torre Norte?
Ese edificio pertenece a la ciudad y tienen que tener razón para evacuarlo. Y vamos a esperar a ver de los datos que reciben de los estudios que están haciendo.